Welcome to my interview with Euwarnii. I want you guys to know that I am really excited to be here with him. I met him about 2 weekends ago at the Virtuous Con. It was on all virtual, and I was going around to different, tables, and I ran across him, and I really was digging the cultural respect that he was given in his in his whole content. So I wanted to definitely bring him on to my show as a guest. And I do have a video that I'm gonna have you guys check out in a little bit. But no longer hold it up, Mr. Euwarnii. So thank you so much for being on my show today on the Black Girl Nerdy World. I'm excited to talk to you about your brand, talk to you about how you started, and I am excited to discuss a lot more with you. I'm sorry, guys, my daughter is still looking for mommy time with me, so
Yes,
I
please.
will mute myself, and you go ahead and introduce yourself.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Mahanali, and thank you for this opportunity. Hey, kings and queens, I'm Euwarnii Hughes, the CEO of Great Gale and the mangaka for Afrofuturism manga Bold Saga, a story that empowers our young kings and queens to seize greatness and enjoy the majesty of African culture.
That is amazing. So, first of all, I love that you focus in on African culture. But before we get into that, how long have you been in comics? Just being just a spectator by itself.
I've been in comics ever since I was a kid, just looking at the Sunday papers, like the cartoons and things like that, as well as going to Barnes and Nobles. I remember I used to read One Piece, but I didn't
Mm.
understand the letters, so I used to call it Nepek. That's how long I've been into comics, ever since a kid. I mean, the first drawing book I ever had was villains. I told my dad to get heroes, but he got villains. But all
What?
of that is just, I've been into comics for so long. It's just been a part of me. I've maxed out my library card at 95 items. Most of those items have been like manga related or mangas themselves, how to draw, graphic shaw, watching up till anything. Anything I get my hands on about learning about this amazing, genre.
That is awesome. I first of all, for those that don't know what manga is, do you want to explain to them what manga is? Because you mentioned it.
Yes. Perfect. So manga is Japanese style comics that have a cultural setting. What separates them from your American comics or manhwas or sensei eels out there is that manga has a deep cultural context to it. It's not just about superheroes with capes destroying cities and a spider bit them and they get radioactive powers by accident. So much about manga is the cultural aspects. You have to earn your powers. There's, adversity within, and there's growth that happens throughout the story where it doesn't just recycle into a multiverse. It's literally continuous progression. On top of that, there's a cinematic overlay throughout the entire genre of manga. In fact, the first real godfather of manga, what's his name again? I almost forgot for 1 second. Osamu Tezuka. That's the godfather of manga. Basically, he
What
got
a
into.
name!
I know, right? That's the guy that made Astro Boy, Dororo. That's on Amazon right now. He got into making manga, but he was first an animator. So there's an animation component within manga that's why animes are just like that. It's just running through to its core. It's truly about stories of heroes overcoming adversity.
And what I love is that it's not always like a superhero, you know?
Hmm.
It's always somebody that, has this will within inside them that supersedes our like physical abilities. And I love that because it takes someone with compassion, it takes someone with understanding, a sense of, being, a human, to be able to understand these powers and to respect them at that too. So, I'm actually just getting back into what I call the nerdum, and I started out with a lot of great mangas. Absolutely love Naruto. He's a staple, obviously. I've also gotten to. I tried One Punch. But One Punch really didn't try me as much because I was like, I don't really get it. But maybe I should have did more than just one episode. So But right now my favorites has to be Demon Slayer and Attack on Titans, super faves. So I'm glad you were able to explain some of that to them. So we don't have to like get off of the subject. I wanted to get more into what made you want to create your own outside of just being a spectator.
Awesome, awesome. So the way how I got into manga is that, and actually creating it originally before creating Bold Saga in 2020, for years I was working on video game design. I don't talk about it often, but I actually have a certificate in video game development for 2D. So I was really putting my all into making a video game, but just it didn't work out the way that I wanted to. So
Right.
I was stressed out and like, what am I gonna do next? And then it just occurred to me is that you should go back to doing manga. You've been studying it for most of your life, how to draw it, how to make it. That's been my style all throughout college. Even when people tried to tell me to switch, I still did manga throughout. And I wanted to do something different because the older I got, while working on the video game, the main character was a girl and she was half black, half Spanish, but more of her
Ooh,
ethnicities looked Eurocentric. And I
yes.
started to question myself, or it was God really questioning, like, why does your main character not look like you or your sister or your family members? What do you think is so wrong about the melanin you've been blessed with? Why does that have to be in the background? Why can't that be in the forefront, in the display? So I totally put the game to the side, made the manga, and I was like, it's gotta be something that celebrates us. Black Panther came out, that was fire, that was Afrofuturism, but that
Right.
was just a comic, and it was really taken from some other comic that was created by black people by all negro comics. I wanted to make something that was original but still had a cultural context to it. So after seeing how they did Usopp in One Piece when they hung him, after seeing how they did Killer Bee in Naruto when he's
Yeah.
literally a mockery of hip hop, Sister Crone and all of these things that they put into mangas and animes that are like overt and covert disses to black people, I was just like, I'm not going to wait for them to celebrate our culture. I don't want to be a side character or a clown or some foolishness. I will celebrate our culture the best way because who knows how to do black people like black people, honestly.
Right. I
So that's
love
how I
it.
got into doing this.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so I want you just to kind of give a small, brief, just an introduction about your mega, which is I want you to kind of like explain to them really quick because I do have a video that I want you guys to see that'll explain more, but just kind of like give them a little bit.
Okay, well, Bold Saga is an Afrofuturism manga that follows on Masego and his journey to be the next Anansi, like his role model Shaka Zulu. So this is literally African mythology meets African history, but at its core, at the center, it's a story of underdogs rising, overcoming the challenges life throws at them. So the story has Black history, Black future, Black excellence. This is what we've been waiting for. This is Bold Saga.
Yes, I love it. So, guys, I'm out to see. I'm new at this. I'm going to go ahead and show his commercial. Both sides. Absolutely
Yes.
beautiful. I can't believe that was so good. So I just want you guys to know I have two it's volume or is it editions? What are
Chapters.
chapters? Okay, so I have two chapters Bow Saga and I've read one. It is like I couldn't put it down. That's why I got through it so fast because and I did it through the virtual because obviously my actual paper copies coming soon. But I read through it and I had my daughter with me, and it was such a great connection with this young boy. And then I wanted to ask you this question, but if I asked you, will this give it away? And is it okay?
Mm. You can ask.
Okay, so my question to you is the young lady that he runs into starts with a S. Shani,
Yes.
Johnny,
Ronnie.
Johnny. Yes. Is she the angel that comes out?
That
Is she
is
the
a
one in the
great
hoodie?
question. No.
Okay. Okay, so there's a part in the first chapter where he's in a cave, and he kind of this is kind of one of his jobs, but he hates it. Okay, he does not want to do this job. He honestly wants to do what he loves, which is be a fighter and to represent his culture and his country. And the thing is that it's not really something he can do because he's not physically capable. I don't know how to say it. He's just like he can't do it. You know what I mean? Like he's gone back for 5 rounds and got his ass kicked every time. Sorry for the cussing. But it was his heart, which is why I say it's not where you're at, it's where you're going. It's the heart of the matter. And I love how at the end I can't really go into it because then I don't want to keep it away from you guys. You guys got to check it out. So for me, I think it's important for us to understand and watch more and read more comics that show our culture in it because it really is like an egg hunt in a way. It's a discovery. You learn so much about so many different cultures when we do this. And so there was a part in there where there was somebody and he thought it was like a ghost for originally it was a real person, like he ran to go help them. He was either could have decided to go help himself or help that person. He literally went to go help him, and what happened is that by the time they got out safely, that person wasn't there anymore. So that's what it encouraged me to ask this question, because towards the end when he is rewarded for all of his hard work, um, the lady reminded me of Shawnee. Was it a lady?
Yes, it was.
Yes.
Yes, I love that aspect in the story. How like all the narrative payoff. It's like he goes through so much, but like once you get to the end of the chapter, you'll see that it's all worth it. And the story parallels my life because me getting to actually finish this story took basically 6 years to get the first chapter done because 4 years failing in video game design. When it was finally finished, it was 2020. The pandemic happened, and my grandfather passed away. So while that's why chapter one literally begins with days may be dark, but still don't give up because I wanted to honor him. But like I had to go back to the Caribbean for his funeral, and I had to do his graphic design. So like imagine every day you seeing the same person who you love and they passed away and you can't exactly grieve because you have to continuously make the banners, the programs, all of the booklets, all that stuff. So it like really messed with me, but I said I refuse to give up. That's why it's literally called Bold Saga. The acronym is Brave Onwards Limit Destroyer, overcoming the limits of grief, of fear, of pain, and this is what separates it. So many other stories like the Black Panthers out there, that's a hero, but that's based on Lion Man by All Negro Comics. Or if you look at Static Shock, Spider Man, all these people are great heroes, even Miles Morales. But Bold Saga is a philosophy. It's a
Yes,
mindset. It's the ability to overcome life's limits. And that's why this story is so impactful.
I love that. Could you please give them that acronym again so they can hear it?
No problem. BOLD is the acronym for Bold Saga, and it's literally brave, having courage, onwards, moving forward, limits, finding the challenge life throws at you, and destroyer, overcoming that limit. And that's why I love this story because it's so amazing. Look, when was the last time you saw a manga with a black angel on it? A black angel, you know how
No.
fire that is? And
Yes,
literally on the
dope.
back, you see that and the
Yes.
Dinkra. Oh, this
That's
is so
incredible.
cool.
This is why I was so drawn to your comment and the life lessons out of it. Like this book really is relatable. I rooted for him even though it was very obvious it was not going to happen. Wasn't going to happen for you, buddy. You're just going to have to just get comfortable with working. You're working in the
Hmm.
mines. But it's funny because you never know where life takes you, and this kind of really brings light to all the hard work that's not really showing like it's paying off, because he spent a whole summer training. you know he was ready. Okay, he was ready and he got his butt kicked again. And
By
this
the
was the
same
last
person.
time. I think, what was it, it maxed out at 5.
Yep.
Yep. So it was his last year. Like he had to go in. So he trained for this, guys. And that's something that happens in life. And I truly can appreciate that type of moral, righteousness that comes out at the end. Stick to it. I know it's hard. Like even for this, me being the technician,
Hmm.
it's hard. Okay, this has been an issue for months. You guys know this, but we are here now. So I'm excited, and I know that things like this is going to pay off. Just like your story, it really helps put in and instill those values, and so that's why I wanted to showcase you. So if they wanted to be able to reach out to you, please give your websites, your email, and then I'll make sure I'll put it in the description for you guys as well.
Awesome, awesome. So if you want to get Bold Saga Chapter 1 or Chapter 2 or even both, you can get it at Etsy. So if you go to Great Gale on Instagram, Great Gale Co, you'll be able to go to the link in bio. You can basically get the Chapter 1, Chapter 2, the digital editions, like this merch. Like what we have, we actually make. So the World Changers hoodie, this Rise Up Snapback, all of that. Or even if you go on Instagram and DM the word Royal, it'll still take you to the same place. In addition to that, if you want to follow us, we're at Great Gale Co. We're on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Clubhouse, Fanbase, We Kin Folk. And if you want to support this endeavor, because we have a notice of opposition going on right now because another company is filed for the Bold Saga trademark. And the first image that they have is a black monkey with blue glasses. So we've taken steps to protect our brand. And yes, I know it's crazy, but we've taken steps to protect our brand. A notice of opposition is up to $50,000 and up to 7 years of legal fees. So if you enjoy this story and if you want to see more manga that empowers our young kings and queens, so you don't have to see themselves as clowns or rappers who are ninjas or ninjas who rap, who can see themselves as winners, who use their mind to win. This is the story. This is what we need, and please support this endeavor. The link is up there as well in the link in bio on Great Gale. Every amount counts. You can even share the link with other people because we need to get the word out.
Absolutely. I'll make sure I'll put all of those links down in the descriptions, and I'll repost you as well with the information too. It has been a pleasure talking with you. And what's really great, guys, he's coming back on tonight's show. This was kind of a pre show. It technically was supposed to be recorded, but I'm not a tech. I'm not an IT person, so we went live. So I wanted to let you guys know this is not the show. This is just the pre-show, and I wanted to interview Mr. Euwarnii, and he's going to come back on tonight's show, and he's going to discuss more about what to look forward to as a content creator, such as expenses and income. We're also going to be talking about what's it like going to cons and what was some of the struggles. Really, he kind of touched on some of them, but what was some of the struggles entering into the comic view? Obviously, his is a manga, but the comic and mangas is all the same to me. So I want you guys to know I love you so much. Thank you again, everyone, for getting me 50 subscribers on YouTube. Unfortunately, it wasn't enough to actually go live from my mobile, but since I will be doing it from my desktop tomorrow moving forward, I can go live. So thank you. Every subscription counted. Thank you, Euwarnii, for subscribing. And tonight I'll have a list of people that I want to say thank you because you guys made it possible to even get it started live tomorrow. So thank you. And Euwarnii, you are great. And I'll see you later on tonight.
All right. See you later, Queen. Thanks again. Have a great day.
You too. Bye, guys.